All right, 32 H&R Magnum again through the 4.2 inch barrel. And see how this does. See if it's acceptable out of the snub here. Let's go take a look. All right, so I would say it's still not quite acceptable out of the snub. You know, this is acceptable for through the 4.2 inch barrel, but not through the snub. It's just not enough barrel length to stabilize those. So with our 4.2 inch barrel, we got actually a little bit better penetration through our rib simulation, and we got a penetration of about 13 and a half, or 13 and 3/4, I should say. 13 and 3/4 inches, so 3/4 inch more than what it got without, you know, with the 32 long. So yeah, just that both of these did pretty well. Not a huge difference in the performance, other than the damage path is a little bit greater with the 32 H&R. Now 32 H&R through the snub here, again we got the subpar performance. We only got about 10 and a half inches of penetration, so this is very interesting here. I would have never thought that, you know, these little bit difference in velocity and barrel length would make a big difference like that, because the 32 H&R through our snub had as much or more velocity than the 32 long through the 4.2, but it just didn't stabilize it here. So what we can see here is that really bullet stabilization is the big picture here. It's not so much the velocity, it's just, you know, you got to have enough stabilization of a bullet in order for it to penetrate adequately. And we see exactly the same thing with our 32 H&R mag. We increase the velocity, but that barrel with that snub just doesn't stabilize that. As we're through the 4.2 inch, it hits perfectly straight on, flattens down a little bit, and overall not terrible performance with that 4.2 inch, but that snub, it just doesn't like that. Like, let me grab one of these unfired one over here. You see that, you know, the nose is so narrow that it makes the overall length extremely long for a 32 caliber. Yeah, these are just way too long for that snub. So that's a close-up look at those.